Hey there, welcome back to my channel. I'm Christy. I'm in Canada and welcome to my grow room. I have a flower farm and a small market garden here in northern Alberta, and I am going to give you some updates of some of the stuff and projects that I have going on. So if you've been following along with some of my other vlogs, you know that I made a makeshift kind of like a tulip forcing tray. So I was planning to do winter tulips this winter, and I had put in a standing order to get some hydroponic trays. The order got canceled, so I was in a pinch and I got a little creative or inventive, I guess, and I had shared with you in a vlog previously of taking push pins and gluing them with Gorilla Glue into refrigerator trays and then forcing tulips in those hydroponically. And I'm going to give you some results. I'm going to give you some dates though first. I'm going to look at my book so I can give you exact numbers or dates and how long it took. So according to this journal, these tulips that I'm going to show you right now, they were rooted on the 1st of March. I put them into these trays on the 1st of March right out of the fridge. I had kept them cool. The fridge actually froze because it was a little glitchy and I was a little worried because the bulbs were froze and they were kind of soft, but I tried them anyways, and apparently that's the magic resolution for these parrots to bloom. They need that cool, that below freezing temperature because they're doing really well. So I put them to root on the 1st of March, and I left them in the dark until the 12th. So they were in there less than 2 weeks. And because they started to push green and they were really, really well rooted. And so that was right around 8 and 10 degrees Celsius in the car garage where they were rooting in the dark in water. And so then I put those hydroponic tulips on the grow shelf under lights. That was on the 12th of March. Today, it is the 23rd of March. Now let's go take a look and see what's going on here with these little guys. And here they are. They're starting to bloom. Look at how quick they grew. So, yeah. I did give them a little bit of fertilizer, and I will show you the type of fertilizer that was. So this is the brand of fertilizer I gave them, just a tiny bit. I get this on Amazon, and I really like it. A few other updates that I had done is I wanted to move these tower lettuce towers. I wanted to move them out of here, and so in the meantime, what I decided to do is to set up a green stock in my greenhouse. Now, I am growing anemones and ranunculus for commercial cut flowers in there to wholesale to my florists that I grow for. I have three florists on my grow list this year. And so I wanted to use some vertical space so I could actually do a little bit more production this year and get some really early sales for the market garden side of my business. And so on, just looking here, on the 11th of March, I planted out the green stock inside my greenhouse. I used a whole tray of lettuce starts and I didn't have enough. I didn't even get half of it planted. Those things hold a lot of seedlings. So I started more, and we're going to go plant those today. I'll take you with me in the greenhouse and we'll go plant it out and check the status on it. But I wanted to tell you about what I learned. I wanted to kind of document it a little bit because I really truly believe that growing in Canada in our climate, it does kind of have some benefits when it comes to learning about what you can get away with in cold temperatures. Last night, it was minus 19 degrees Celsius at like 11 o'clock at night. It was just about 20 below. Like it basically was 20 below because there was a wind, so it was 20 below. my furnace does not heat a plastic structure to stay warm enough to prevent freezing in this climate. I mean, when it's 20 below and there's a wind chill, no matter what kind of furnace you have in a greenhouse, it's just not going to be enough unless you have insulation that is more than 2 layers of plastic and some air. And so we did experience a lot of freezing the last couple of nights. We had some temperatures dip down below 20 degrees Celsius multiple nights this week. And my greenhouse did get to just about -3 degrees Celsius in in the ambient temperature. The ground obviously would be much cooler where the frost would settle. And, the lower down in the greenhouse, closer to the ground you go, the colder it is, and the higher up in the greenhouse in the structure, the warmer it is. So I don't know, obviously there's all kinds of microclimates inside the structure itself. So I'm just taking the average ambient temperature of the structure. So it could have been colder in some areas and warmer in others. But what do I have planted in there, and what was exposed to -3 degrees Celsius temperatures the last couple nights? Well, I have anemones, I have ranunculus, I have snapdragons, and I have stock all planted out in the greenhouse, as well as the tower garden, or the green stock, which is planted with lettuce. Now, everything except for the lettuce was covered. I did cover the lettuce last night because we had some serious wind chills, but the previous nights I did not cover it. And I wanted to share with you that soil does matter with different types of composts. It does matter. So what I find here, because I'm planting really, really early in the season, when we have these dip downs that are 20 below and colder, I find that I can extend the cold hardiness with the plants so they aren't stunted or stressed out. They just continue to keep going. When I use products that have a really balanced trace mineral in the soil mixture, and I like to start my seedlings in those compost mixtures. I've really tried to eliminate using sterile seed mixes that have no nutrients in them. I'm really going more into the direction of starting my seedlings for the early season in soil blends that are high in trace minerals and balanced trace minerals. And the reason I'm wanting to do that is because it does really help the cold hardiness of the plant. And also it helps the immunity of the plant for those early pests that start to wake up early in the season and start to affect the plants. And especially, if a person is growing in a cool, damp environment, damping off is an issue when you're growing in a place like northern Alberta. Lots of people have problems with that. So especially when they're using high nitrogen fertilizer or high nitrogen compost. And it's just something I've noticed. So one of the things that I like to make sure is I'm using a quality product, that I am not just assuming it's good. I've definitely found a huge benefit into trusting the products that I've been using this year, and I'm really happy with the results. I don't think that the lettuce this year was affected much at all by being uncovered and exposed to those freezing temperatures for the entire night. Previously, I've grown lettuce that was started in seedling mix or a seed starting mix that didn't have exposure to those trace minerals. And they were added later in when I amended the beds. And I found that the seedlings, they just didn't stand up, and they stunted, and they took a while for them to get going. They didn't rapidly start growing. This lettuce today, it is actually continuously growing, and it is fairly rapid. So it could be the variety, but to me, what I'm seeing with them and all my other plants that I'm growing that I have started in a well-balanced compost type of seed starting mixture, I've noticed that they just seem to have a better health. So I wanted to show you the results of them. we'll go take a look and we'll see, and I'll take these little seedlings with us. But actually, I would like to show you just a quick little tour of what the greenhouse or the grow room is looking like now. I have lots of seeds. And again, I don't know if anyone has any tips for me. What is your hack about getting straw flowers to germinate? I don't know if it's my seeds, but every time I try growing straw flowers, I have 0% luck. So please, straw flower growing people of the world, please tell me what your favorite straw flower growing hack is. My florist keeps asking for them, and I keep messing them up. So please comment below and let me know. Okay, let's take a look and see what we have here. Okay, down there we have some white sage as well as some lavender. Here I have some snapdragons that I've been picking out, as well as some eucalyptus. It got a little bit western over there, but we're working on that tray, fixing it. These are all of my hot and sweet peppers that I've just recently potted up. Over here we have some quaking grass, some statice. This is my second succession of statice. I have green drops grass, bunny tails grass, some more statice back there. And then in here we have more peppers. And this is foxglove, and I need to pull these out. I'd actually germinated them in paper towel and just plugged them into here, and I had way more grow than I thought would. So I need to pot these out, and I'm going to plant them out as soon as I can next week. And then over here we have some brassicas. These are going for my market garden stuff. This is flowering kale. So these ones are cut flowers. And then we also have some, these guys down here, I think are pansies. And then we have some yarrow and just other brassicas. I think these guys are going to be flowering kale as well. And up here, we have the floret celosia. I have the spun sugar, vintage rose, what is it? Linanota or whatever. I can't see what it says. I'm too short. And then I have the terracotta series or terracotta, flamingo, and white of the celosia as well. And then in here we have stock. This whole row is stock. This is my second succession of stock germinating. We have some, what is this? Statice? No, it's not statice. I can't see. I'm too short. Oh, gomphrena. We have gomphrena going in here. Different types of gomphrena. And then we have some filler flowers and yarrow. This is all yarrow, perennial yarrow. I have lots of growing, but I want some more. And in here, we have some spinach. That's going to be going into one of the tower gardens. And then these are, we have some cherry Venus phlox, Tweedia, we have scabiosa, we have Shabbat orange dianthus, I think it's orange sorbet. Straw flowers back there that just are driving me insane. They're kind of dry. I have some sorrel started for perennial sorrel for salads. These are also just some more brassica thingies. Don't know what I got here. Oh, cabbage. Those are cabbages. And I believe those are kohlrabi and more cabbage. And then in here, we have some feverfew, rudbeckia, phlox. We have some phlox going on, and dara, ami, and levanomist back there. So, and then up here, we are just doing some more snapdragons. This is my fourth succession of snapdragons. I have my Fast and Furious lettuce growing in these towers over here. And I have powdery mildew on my cucumbers that I've been growing. I've harvested a ton of these cucumbers already, but you can see they're stressed out, and I'm going to retire these cucumber plants, but I'm probably going to leave the pots, and I might plant some pansies in here. I have a zucchini growing in my office. It also has powdery mildew. Oh, and I have this is back in here, we have a ranunculus growing. And then we have some stock. These ones are stock that I collected seeds from the greenhouse and started. And then we have the tulips that we're forcing. We have lettuce. This is the lettuce we're going to be planting. It looks funny because of the light in here. These are some pansies that I'm going to also plant in the greenhouse for my own enjoyment. And then I have snapdragons. Again, it looks funny because of the light. But these are all, this is my third succession of snapdragons. Here we have pot up lettuce for my subscribers, for some of them that are wanting to do hanging baskets and pots. And then I have some of my 9 packs of Frizzle Sizzle mini pansies or violas, and then I have like other varieties of viola there. These are what's left. I had actually done a little bit of a delivery to my extra, because I had extra plants, so I potted them up and I offered them to my customers if anybody wanted to make some early spring baskets. And this is my second succession of sunflowers that will be going into the greenhouse. These were just potted up. This is eucalyptus. This is also eucalyptus. This is my first succession, and I don't know what's going on with it, but I think it got either too wet or too dry or something. But yeah, it's not very happy. I need to get more water into it because it's dry right now. Up here we have Lysianthus. Oh, I think there's water in here. Better check before I tilt it. I have a habit of being so short and dumping water on my face. Okay, so yeah, these are Lizzie's. I potted these up a little while ago. We have some of the Voyage 2, Celeb 2, Apricot, Roseanne Brown, Roseanne Black Pearl, Deblini Blue. We have Red, Arena Gold, Voyage Light Apricot, and Yellow, I think are what's in here, but they're looking happy. I lost an entire tray because of a bacterial infection. I was handling anemones that had a bacterial fungal issue, and then I went and I handled my Lysianthus tray, and it wiped them out, and I had to get rid of them. So I was really sad because those were the Cooley View Flora seeds, and it was my own fault because I didn't wash my hands really well between handling contaminated seedlings and those. So it was a bummer to lose all those seeds. However, I still have the ones I started from Johnny's that I was able to continue to grow on. So we also have more of the same repeat. We have the Voyage Lavender, and that's the only addition, I think. And then here we have some Status with lots of water in it, so I need to dump this out. So yeah, the Status needs to go out very soon. It's going to go outside next week. Well, that's what I have so far inside. Let's go see what's outside, and I will show you around. Oh, and I think oh, look, yeah, it's cucumber. I have a cucumber growing on my tower as well. And oh, I have some leeks, and kohlrabi started here. So yeah. It is really nice and warm, and I actually am very glad with my decision to put the shade cloth up, and I'll show you why. I just realized I totally screwed up and I did not cover my ranunculus last night. Oh boy, let's go look. Seriously? They don't look bad. Wow. I completely forgot to cover this. I usually do that down there, and then I usually come up and I just grab my sheet and then I pull it over the hoops. But look at these guys. They're like so unfazed. And it was cold in here. They need water? No, they're good. What? Huh. So anyway, I did want to get the shade cloth up because that sun is so hot. In the sun, it's at least 25 degrees Celsius. And so I don't want them to stop before they even start. And that's what's so hard, because we're at nighttime, we're getting so cold. And then during the daytime, we're so hot. So because of the beaming up sun. So I'm going to actually uncover. These guys are anemones. Let's see how they look. Wow. They look so good. Any bets when we're going to have blooms? I actually need to start watching for some buds because they're at that point where it could happen any day. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Daffodils. Daffodils are coming up. There's a bunch of them. There's some water in here. Oh, these guys are really going for it. Okay. Well, they look happy. So I'm going to actually turn the shade cloth like that one is with all of them. I ordered another one and it actually finally just got in yesterday. Oh, wow, it's hot. Like right here, standing in the sun, I'm like starting to sweat. It's such a difference that the shade cloth makes. It's incredible. So I might not actually cover these anymore. I might leave them tonight and see how they do. I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, you can see where there's that beam of light and then it's shadow and then it gets so hot. It's so hot. It's like a 20 or 30 degree difference. Oh, look, I see a weed already. Dandelions. I want to pull it right out. I'm trying to dig it out. It's so soft and loose in here, so dandelions everywhere. Well, it looks like the soil is nice. Not compacted at all. Happy anemones. But this is way too warm. I need to get the shade over top of these really bad. Otherwise, they're going to start wanting to not grow. And as you can tell, these guys were planted in way earlier than those guys. And the ones where it's cooler are happier. So it's much hotter up here. The further you are up here, higher up in the greenhouse where it's higher in elevation, the hotter it is. So warmer it is, not hotter, warmer. So yeah, these gotta come off. Snapdragons, they seem to be okay. I got a lot of shade cloth to contend with every day. I actually ended up opening the door because it started to vent in here. What that means is the big fan is drawing out all of the hot air because it's too warm. And we will check the lettuce. Yeah, looks good. It looks happy. Happy lettuce. Check the romaine. It got a little bit cold on this side. But for the most part, it's looking really good. I'm pretty happy with the results so far, so let's get some plants in the tower. So I decided not to plant on the bottom side or the bottom part of this little tower because it's frozen. It's like when you push your finger down in there, it's frozen. So I'm gonna leave it empty for now, just for a few more days. But I am going to plant up the rest of these lettuce and pansies in little pots. I just went and found those, so we'll go find some soil, and I think we'll use this and some amendments. I'll show you what I'm doing now to amend my beds, and yeah, I'll show you what products I'm eliminating in the process of doing so. So the soil that I used is an organic potting sort of blend. The base of my pots and my beds that I've been using is a product called Prime Organics Plus, and it has a lot of amendments in it, including biochar, which has worm casting tea essentially infused in it. So that means it has like a long term benefit to the soil. It kind of works the same way as a long term or a long acting fertilizer, because the microbes that are in the soil to help the plant utilize what's in the soil are going to have some place to call home, essentially, in the biochar for long durations of time, years, in fact. So there's a lot of benefit to using that as my potting soil. The amendments, the reason why I didn't add any fertilizer or bone meal or feather meal like you have in previous years seen me load the crap out of my entire farm like that, it already has it mixed into it in the other product I used called Gold Plus. So the Gold Plus is a heavier compost mix, and it also has like worm compost in it, like vermicompost. It has like grade A or class A compost in it. It is organic, and it has everything. It has the trace minerals in it that helps my plants with their hardiness. So if they can withstand temperatures without becoming too shocked or too much stress comes on them, like, you know, you've seen my ranunculus. It got pretty cold in here last night and they're not phased. I didn't cover them. I started those in these products. So they've already got that rooting system established. Their immunity is already on. So I feel like I'm ahead this year because of using these products. The lettuce and the pansies both got the same amendments for the pots, and I will be planting things throughout the season in them. But the Gold Plus, I really like it because it does have the blood meal and the bone meal. It has everything in it, so it's eliminating the cost of me to go and buy these things separately. It actually is saving me a ton of money, and it's also saving me a ton of time to pack all these buckets, measure everything out. So I'm really pleased with it. It seems like I probably cut off like a day with my bed amendments in the greenhouse, because usually you have to go through and go pick up all the stuff from the store and store it, and then back and forth, and you forget to do this, and it seems to be a day about ahead of my planting just by using a simpler system with my soil amendments. So I'm really happy with it, and I thought I would just share the results with you. Editing Christy, I forgot to sign off. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again. Bye for now.